What's up? It's cleaning Monday. Cleaning Monday. I'm cleaning my cabin. We're cleaning the village. We're cleaning things up. And I was having a thought. Because I had a conversation with a near and dear old friend of mine. And he's not old, but he's the oldest friend of mine. I've literally been friends with him since I was like 20. And we started out from my mother-in-law. She introduced us. He was a doctor and I was sick when I first met my mother-in-law, and she took me to the doctor. And I happened to meet this doctor. I happened to meet this guy that's pretty awesome, pretty sweet. And we've been friends ever since. We've been friends ever since back then. So he's my oldest friend. And I don't have a ton of really close, dear to my heart friends that I've known for a long, long, long time. Most of my friends that I talk to still at this point very often, most of them I've met in the last like 7 years. And that's largely due to my life changing so much, my life shifting so much, my life becoming so different. But I was thinking about that. And the biggest thing with that is the reason that so much shifted. In reflection, I can look back and understand it. Not that I'd necessarily do anything really all that different, but I can understand it better. And so this could help you. And what that is when you start shifting your life, when you really, really start seeing things so clearly for yourself that you're like, whoa. And you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going there anymore. I'm not saying that anymore. I'm not listening to that anymore. I'm not participating in that anymore. You like put up these boundaries, if everything that you do is kind of related to the world and world ways and world things and world activities, people are going to think you're having like this existential crisis. They're going to be like, oh, you're losing your mind. You're having an existential crisis. That's what a lot of people thought about me. And then I'm realizing that a lot of people were offended. A lot of people were super, super duper offended by me and my being and my choices, especially those people that I know personally, like my parents, my brothers, close friends at the time, or close associations at the time. Even if we weren't really tight, close friends, we were closely associated. We spent time together. I realized that I offended these people so strongly, so fucking strong. I offended these people. And the way I believe about being offended is you can't really offend other people. People choose to be offended. Like, I can't feel your feelings for you or think your thoughts or do your actions, so therefore you're the only one that can. That means you are the one that gets offended. I'm just me. I'm just who I am. I'm doing what I'm doing, even if you don't like it. That again is on you. But being offended is a personal thing. You have some reason inside you of judgment that you place over here on me and feel like I can offend you. Now, I may say some shit you don't like, but it doesn't mean I offend you. That's personal. But in this case, people close to you will get offended. If you start saying, for instance, I used to have such an addiction buying things. I was a shopaholic. And they didn't view you as a shopaholic, or they didn't view you as somebody that shopped all the time, and they think that they shop more than you, or like to shop more than you, or do more shopping than you, or want to shop more than you, they're going to start getting really offended, because they're going to be like, she probably thinks I'm a shopaholic. She probably thinks this. She probably thinks that. And they're going to get all offended, because they're going to think all kinds of shit that they don't know that I'm thinking, because I'm not. I'm thinking about me. I'm thinking about my habits, my beliefs, my life, my choices, my direction, what I'm doing. I didn't always think that way, but that's what I'm doing now, especially. And most people are, to a huge degree. We don't know what other people think. We don't know what other people are thinking inside their head, really. So, yeah, people close to me got offended. My family, my parents, my brothers, close friends, associates, business associates. When we said, hey, we have this business that we make like close to $500,000 a year, just as two people running this business. Two of us were running a service business, and we were making almost $500,000 a year. Not like making $500,000 a year with all kinds of sales funnels and all kinds of advertising. No, we ourselves were doing all of that, making that kind of money, just the two of us. And we were like, we're not doing that anymore. We don't want to. It doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound like the best life for us and our life and the way we want to live and what we want to do and what our kids want to do. And they were like, because we had friends in the same business and they weren't making as good of money as us. They weren't flourishing as good as us. They weren't doing things as high level as us, just the two of them, as functional with 5 kids and houses and businesses and property. We were nailing it. We were rocking it. We said, fuck that, because it's not working for us here. Our relationships are struggling. We have no time. We're knocking it out on this existential shit, but our time is like that big. So they got offended. They started judging us based on their own self-judgment or thoughts or beliefs or feelings. And we do this a lot as humans. I do it. My kids do it. We talk about it. God, my arm is tired. So, this whole video was to tell you, if you're going through an awakening, or if you change things, or if you could be 40 years old or 14 years old right now, and if you're changing your life for the better, if you're up-leveling. I did that as a teenager too. I was 16 and a mom at 16. And I had other friends that were mothers or chose not to be a mother through adoption or abortion because they're like, I can't do that, don't want to, I'm not ready. And I was like, yeah, baby, let's jump in. And they were like, kind of like, fuck you, man. And it's like, okay, cool. But I didn't get it. I get it now. I get it now. So if other people are running away from you, don't want to talk to you, avoid you, say mean shit to you, you know, if people attack you and they're like, who do you think you are? And you're like, I think I'm me. If you have people attacking you and you say nothing to them directly, they just took it as like offensive to them, I'm here to tell you, hammer down, get through it, because it gets better and it's normal. It's natural. It's what we all do. We all do it to some extent. It's the program. It's the conditioning. And if you went through public school, like the majority have, this is part of how they teach you to think. They don't teach you how to think. They teach you what to think. And this is part of that comparison. But if you can start finding it for yourself and be like, I'm not comparing to anybody. I'm choosing for me. So don't compare yourself to me and you won't be fucking offended. There's a whole circle here of how it works. But being offended is personal. You can't offend others and they can't offend you. If you get offended, you got a problem. You should look at it and address it. You have an issue. If they're offended, it's not your problem. Unless you're trying to be a dick. Don't be a dick. But if it's something else. So in all your up-levelings in life, there's going to be people that want to shit on your parade. Don't let them. Peace. Love. See ya.